So it's been around a month and a half since I posted my Joe Budden video where I was very critical of the business moves that Joe was making and how it would affect his relationship with his co-host Rory and Mal. Joe saw this video and actually took to Twitter to call me an idiot, which made me laugh. And when I made that video, I had a bit of what I would call uploader's remorse. All the Joe Vengers were getting in my head and I began to question if I was just hating. But then I remember how unbiased I was in that video. People commenting were acting like I was preying on the downfall of this podcast, when in reality I'm just so invested. Literal years of listening, and I don't like how Joe screwed his friends out of more money with his brash and overbearing personality. Not to mention his ego that's inflated so big it has planets orbiting around it. You could literally feel the tension growing with every single episode, yet I still had many dismiss me as a hater, calling me white, which I'm not, or saying that I don't listen to the podcast because I said Mal's name wrong. And that was my fault for not saying the dude's name right. I know it's New Rory and Mal, but honestly I don't watch for Mal anymore. He's just the dude that's too cool for everything these days, and I think that's lame. How you gonna be out here painting your nails but be too cool for other shit? And I just really have always liked the dynamic between Rory and Joe. And man, these guys used to have some amazing shows and back-end information when they could be more honest and not spend hours protecting industry ties every episode. My other favorite comment people were saying is I didn't know what I was talking about. I'm the guy who understands the back end of all these websites. I literally do this for a living for almost 4 years. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars off the internet. So I would say I'm a little more qualified than the average keyboard warrior when it comes to understanding the paywall, the sponsors, and the ad money. And I hate to say this guys, but almost everything I said in my first video is coming true. Joe can't get out of his own way, and he's gonna make sure everyone goes down on this ship. First off, when Olivia Dope left his sister podcast, See the Thing Is, I knew that Joe was in trouble. It was obvious she was leaving because of Joe after the two unfollowed each other on all social medias, and she said time and time again she had no issue with her co-host, also adding that when she feels disrespected, she's gonna leave. And when Joe came on their show, you could cut the tension with a knife. I mean, keep in mind, this was after he said his dick could keep them in check on his podcast earlier last month, and he called them bitch on their podcast.
I need to be like Ross. If Ross, would you ever hire any women? Nah, I'm gonna want to fuck the bitches. Can I go get an on-air hug from Olivia?
Yes. Yes. Look at this family affair.
This is how a boss moves. Imagine hearing the CEO of Apple saying some shit like this. That would be his last day there. Also, there's been zero growth to the half-baked idea that is the Joe Budden Network. It's still just Joe, See the Thing Is, and Girl I Guess, which people seem to hate. I won't lie, having guests on See the Thing Is was a genius move, but I don't think it's enough to save the podcast. Their YouTube viewership is dying. I mean, I'm out here frying them, guys. And also, the content on Patreon has apparently not been worth the money at all. Nothing but rapid-fire questions and post-show antics with other members of the crew. It's safe to say that this whole Patreon thing was obviously rushed after Joe had no backup plan when no major deal came. Most of the time, Rory and Mal aren't even there for the Patreon exclusives. After missing last Wednesday's episode and uploading the Saturday episode, which featured Ice and Savon, aka No Rory and Mal, this is when I got even more suspicious, and so did the audience, questioning Joe about what was really going on. And all Joe said was that the two were taking a much needed vacation, and he assured us everything was fine and that we would know the truth on Wednesday. Well, Wednesday is here, and the podcast posted today once again has no Rory or Mal. This is when Joe dropped the bombshell that Rory and Mal are basically on strike. He doesn't know if they'll ever come back, and according to Joe, this is about miscommunication, not money, which I think is huge cap. No one getting paid right doesn't show up for work. He did acknowledge all the tension there's been on the podcast lately. Hell, this is from Rory's last episode.
Sometimes you gotta fight your friends though, man.
I would not.
I know.
I would not.
Yeah.
I would not.
Not at 40.
Not me.
Not at 40.
Not at 40.
At 23, you fight your
Fuck
friends.
no, at 40, I'm not fighting
Come
none
on.
of
Who the fuck said we was
How the
friends?
hell do I look?
I'm not fighting none of my friends at 40, no.
Yeah, it's over.
The thing is, guys, I don't know where the podcast is going from here, but all of this is a horrible look for businessman Joe. When the head of creator equity at a company can't even make his own guys happy, it makes him look like an idiot. I really hope the guys come back and get paid what they deserve. I hope this podcast thrives in the future. I mean, seeing this shit actually made me sad. I just don't want anyone to think I'm sitting around preying on their downfall, or Joe's downfall for that matter. I just really think Joe did some shady shit, and I felt like saying something about it as someone who understands the way these paywalls, sponsorships, and ad-based streaming services work. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section today. I have a feeling this is not going to be my last video on this topic, so y'all subscribe to stay tuned. As always, I want to thank you guys for liking the video today and sharing it with your friends. And I encourage you to go follow me on my social medias. That's at JAMARI Speaks on both Twitter and Instagram. But as you guys know, there's some other news out here that needs to get covered, so it's been your boy the Tan Superman, and I'm out. Peace!